how to never get ill with Nagini. Let's get to it. So, to begin, we must understand that there is actually no such thing as illness. The truth is there is only wellness. There is balance and misbalance. Now, all that is happening when you are ill is the manifestation of this imbalanced state coming about, bringing about what you call an illness. Because the body and the mind wants to restore harmony, bringing balance back into the entire ecosystem, the entire universe known as your body. So what do I mean by all of this? Essentially, every time you get ill, all that's happening is your body is trying to speak to you. It's trying to tell you that in one or many ways you are living out of harmony with yourself. Now, this could come in the form of diet. This could come in the form of stress. This could come in the form of emotional trauma and other forms. But these are the three main ones. And what you'll find is that if these were aligned, for the most part, you would never again find yourself ill, otherwise known as cleansing. So the question on your mind, I believe right now, will be, okay, Jeannie, so how do I get to this state whereby I never have to experience illness again? Well, you firstly, in that mind of yours, you need to rid yourself of the belief that you are actually subject to illness at all. Because when you believe that you are subject to anything, you program your cells, your entire being accepts that. And in that process, they code for it. The genes begin to express that way. They downregulate the good genes, quote unquote, and upregulate the bad genes, quote unquote. So what you need to do is you need to realize your infinite power, your raw potential that lies right within your heart. And when you realize that, you create an abundance of light which shines through your entire being, with which no darkness can overcome. And that is just step one. Once you have rid yourself of the belief that you are subject to any illness at all, then second step, you must start aligning your entire being with the inherent nature that you are. And that means you must live in a state of balance. To do this, you must stop living under the stress response, because the stress response cannot be lived in long term, and all it is doing is killing you. The stress response is the reason for you creating cortisol, which leads to adrenaline, which is an exceedingly high energy state. Because if you was in real danger, you would need all that energy to flee from your enemy, to survive. But we're not here just to survive. We are here to thrive. And to thrive means to live in harmony with all things. So if you haven't seen my previous videos on how to alleviate yourself from fear, anxiety, and understand your emotions and your mind, I highly, highly recommend you go do so right now. Because the next steps involve letting go of all of your trauma and all of your illusions which create the stresses in your life. Because no circumstance is inherently stressful, but it's merely your perception upon it and the way in which you approach it and react to it. And then finally, you must be feeding your body with a diet which is filled with living light energy. This is a diet filled with living foods, with natural foods, with foods that serve you, not ones which are dead, which are dense, and which sit in your stomach all day long and make you feel bloated and slow. To come to a place where you know these foods that serve you best takes time. Don't listen to what anyone tells you with your body, with what you consume, but listen to your body itself. Be aware of the way in which your diet affects you, and come to know the foods which serve your greatest good and those which don't. And what you will find is that you may go through a process of intense healing once you begin to realign. And throughout this healing process, you may get all the symptoms that are typically known as illness, as being ill. But know that the mucus in your body is there to rid all the toxins, and that's why it's coming up. And when you get a temperature, that's because you're burning away those toxins at the same time. You're leaving no room for anything parasitic to rest within your being. But once you align yourself, and once you have gone through the entire healing process, which may take weeks, months, or even years, you will come to a place where you live in total balance. A place where you no longer stress about irrelevant things. A place where you have gone into your deep emotional trauma, brought it up, surrendered to it, and let it go. And a place where you only actually want to eat pure natural foods because you know they're serving your greatest good. And by doing so, you begin to tap deeper and deeper into your raw infinite potential, which is the way in this world that you thrive. That is not to say that you may never in your life experience this cleansing again, because what I have found is that there is always a deeper stage in your journey, both in cleansing and in healing. But what you will begin to notice is that the intensity of the cleansing becomes less and less. And it almost just becomes a part of your process, barely noticeable. And this is how the human is supposed to live. Illness was never something with which we should succumb to, but it's something that we should try and listen to, because all pain is trying to tell us something. And if we listen to the inner voice and we observe what's actually going on, we come closer and closer to the truth. And when you live aligned with the truth, you live in the highest frequency state, one which cannot succumb to the low frequency vibration any longer. And that, my friends, is when your entire life becomes a ball of fun. You enjoy every moment. You are happy, and you're always willing to meet no matter what circumstance comes upon you head on. And no longer again will the body ever fall prey to the toxins that exist in our world, because you have ascended so far and above and beyond them that the furnace of your being lights up the darkness, and boy does it shine bright.